The fastest way to weaken your authority isn't necessarily how you write. It's the wrong design choice. If your book feels pretty, but something isn't converting, the problem may not be your content.
Pour a cup of clarity, sip a spark of insight. Coffee with Karma, your morning feels just right.
Your book cover is often the first impression someone has of your book and of your brand. And by extension, your thinking. Alas, first impressions don't care how smart your content is if the cover signals are feeling off. Because your potential readers just scroll on by to the next book and they never read yours. That's why this entire week I'm going to be talking about book cover design and how smart authors can align their book design with their brand. Hi, my name is Carma Spence, and I help establish business and leadership coaches write, publish, and market client attracting books that elevate their authority and grow their business. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, share it with others, subscribe to my channel, and ring the bell so that YouTube can know that this video is for people like you who want to grow their business with books. So let's get to the 5 ways that smart authors align their book design, cover, and eventually interior, but we're focusing on cover right now, with their brand. The first one is a mindset. Your book design is brand positioning, not decoration. I did an entire blog post about the book design trends in the nonfiction market. I'll put a link to it in the show notes. But the basic rules of thumb: your book design needs to capture attention when it's teeny tiny, the thumbnail, because that's the first time they're going to see it more often than not. Yes, they may see it in a bookstore, but that's not where most of your readers are coming from. They're coming from places like Barnes and Noble, Amazon, Books a Million, places like that. And they show your books really tiny. So whenever you get your book design, shrink it, make sure it pops there, then tweak it from there. And it needs to position your brand by being in your colors. It should look like a book that is yours. And it should communicate what the book's about. So if it's about luxury, it should look luxurious. If it's about business, it should look like business. If it's about crafting, then it should look like crafting. It should look like the genre to which it belongs. These are minor signals that immediately tell a reader, this book is for you or this book is not for you. And you don't want a book that is for them to say, this book is not for you. So that's what gets me to point number 2. Your cover should match your client's expectations, not your personal taste. And I know that one's hard. I struggle with that all the time because I like to make things look pretty. I have done that since I was a little kid. In fact, my dad sent me to a psychologist, or was it a psychiatrist? I don't know. It was a psych somebody. I got pulled out of school in the 5th grade to find out why I was wasting so much time making things look pretty. This was back when those 4-color pens, you had the pen had the 4, and I was making each and every word a different color because I thought it was pretty, which the psychologist basically told my dad, no, there's nothing wrong with your daughter. She just likes to make things look pretty. So this is an innate thing about me. And so I know I struggle. If this is you, you may struggle with this too. So work with a designer who understands your book's genre, understands book design, and work with them so that your book can be something you're proud of and you're like, yeah, that's my book. So, I mean, it needs to appeal to your aesthetics to some degree, but it needs to also look like a book from that genre and be what your ideal clients are expecting a book that they're looking for to look like. Point number 3. A beautiful book that's off brand weakens authority. So, yes, it needs to look like a book that is in your genre, but it also needs to look like a book that's in your brand. So, it uses your colors, it uses your fonts, but uses them in a way that the genre is used to. So, for example, if you take a look at Uncopyable, I've forgotten the author's name. The author's brand is orange. Not my personal taste, but that's his brand. Look at the book. It totally says his brand. You look at any of his other books, because he wrote a whole series in the Uncopyable brand, they all have orange playing a role and white playing a role because that's his brand. So your book needs to balance between looking the part and looking like your brand. Now, if for some reason you're unclear on any of this, again, I will put a link in the show notes to the blog post I wrote that goes over all the various book cover trends from 25 going into 26. And that will give you a lot of pointers. But also, you might want to pick up my Clarity Compass because this really helps you hone your message. And when your message is honed, that helps you hone your brand as well. And you can pick that up at karmaspence.com/Clarity Compass. Now, on to point number 4. Design decisions should support how the book sells, not just how it looks. What do I mean by this? The way you design both the cover and the interior needs to support how the book is selling itself. So, like I said at the beginning of the video, the cover needs to pop at a very tiny thumbnail size, but it also needs to pop at a regular size. If it pops one and not the other, it's not going to work because the first impression is thumbnail, the second impression is larger. And if it suddenly doesn't work larger, they're going to go, oh, something's off. And the thing is, they won't necessarily be able to articulate what's off, but they'll feel it. They'll feel it. And it will tank the sales of your book. Number 5, on brand design makes your book recognizable even without the title. So even if this was a blank cover with no words, does it look like your brand? That's important. Now, your brand may appear differently in different ways. For example, sometimes I do black and bronze. Sometimes I do burgundy and gold. They're all part of my brand. Sometimes I mix all of those colors together. But as long as my book covers use one or two of those colors, it looks like something that belongs to my brand. And as long as I use my fonts, it looks like something that belongs to my brand. Do the same with yours. So there you go. 5 ways that smart authors align book design with brand. And my next episode will be talking about 3 steps to keep your book design on brand. I will be covering those 3 steps in my next video, and I will see you then. This is Carma Spence saying ciao for now.
Bloopers!
Good morning and welcome to Coffee with Karma. I'm in my new office this morning and it feels a little echoey to me because there's hardwood floors. In fact, I can hear the cat going pitter patter. He really needs his nails clipped. Like click, 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 click all over the floor. And it's still a work in progress. I need to adjust my backdrop. I need to bring up the lights and all those kind of things. Hi, my name is Carma Spence, and I help established leaders and executive coaches write, publish, and market client attracting. Yeah, I'm a little rusty. I'm going to try that again. I'm a little rusty because I've been sick for a week. Ugh, more than a week. Anyway, let's try that again. Hi, my name is Carma Spence, and I help established leadership and ugh, I can do this. Aren't you lucky you're watching live? Okay. I knew there was something missing here. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, share it with others, subscribe to my channel, and what was the fourth thing? Like, share, oh, ring the bell. No, like, share, subscribe. Great googly moogly. You take a week off and you forget everything. We'll just go with that. If you're watching this on video, oh my, of course you're watching this on video. Where else would you be watching it?